Unfortunately, we do not have a lot of people joining us here physically. Most of you guys are on break. So for the people who are attending this through the live stream, welcome to the November 22nd weekly wins event. The agenda remains the same. We'll be going over some personal wins, organizing new communication will be given to us by our product representatives. Second generation recorder will be giving us their updates, and then finally it will be conclusive remarks. So for personal wins, I'll just go ahead and do it myself. I had some Asian food yesterday. Also some dumplings. It was something that I haven't tried before. It was nice. Also some dumplings. It was something that I haven't tried before. It was nice. It was good. That's a good achievement. So do we have any representatives to share some personal wins with us? Well, if we don't have, that's okay. Let's not pressure anybody. Brooke, while we have you, please give us the organizational updates, and education is also be given to Sam. Okay.
All right. Hey guys. All right. So for the organizational updates, the ones that I am updated on are as follows. So we got attended Afrotic last week. Emre attended. This happened in Houston. Um, yeah, there were a lot of important stakeholders attending the event, such as people from Bloomberg Philanthropy, and conversation was had, and the proposal was also passed to Larissa, who fundraising. Sorry. Yeah. Right. So next up is Skillet Talent Placement Specialist onboarding. So as you guys know, there was a job posting that was put out saying that if there are any talent recruiters that wants to take our talent from Skillet and place them in tech companies, they would take 20% of their first 3 months salaries as long as the job is contractual for our talent. And so far, we have hired about 5 candidates, and more are upcoming. And we don't give them any base salaries. So whenever they make placements, they take their own cut. And we have the recruiters from Ethiopia. We have one from India, I believe, one from Germany. So they are spread apart around the world. And hopefully, this is going to boost our Scalite placements in the upcoming months. And it's going to be a good revenue stream for the organization as well. Another one is this you might already have seen in our LinkedIn pages. Giving Tuesday is coming, and this is a huge monumental day for US folks to give and donate, and it happens once a year. I believe this year is happening on the 28th, and even Google gives all of its employees so $500 to donate to a cause of their choice on this day. So usually nonprofits design campaigns, even LinkedIn. Um, LinkedIn, the company incentivize nonprofits to create videos, captivating messages so that a lot of donations happen on this day. So our main target is going to be Google Gives, but in general, we're going to be focusing on collecting as much donation as we can from this organization on this day. And for Escalate, we placed a new person from remote education into a company called Vula, and that's one of our wins. And after seeing it for 3 months, they want to take more people from us. So, and this is the company that's owned by Nick, which is our new board member for A2SV as well. So we hope to see more placements from this company. As for the external meetings, for the Awaki, this it happened, but the guy wasn't in a comfortable place. He was driving, and then there was the network issue. We rescheduled the meeting after an hour, but he didn't join, so it wasn't very productive. As for Ines from World Economic Forum, we talked about how it is to be, and they can collaborate on preparing hackathon So they are trade focused. So if we have such teams, they are willing to talk. She also suggested another company to talk to. But yeah, so follow up will follow. As for Haile Melekut, he's the country director of SAIP. This was an introduction that was made by Susan Nataferra. So I've gotten his WhatsApp number from the email trade after going back and forth on email. So I'll do the follow up next week on WhatsApp. For the business license, as you guys know, we're trying to have an Ethiopian entity, which is also important for the payrolls for the projects. And after going 70% of the paper processing, they said that we can't have numbers in the letters, in the name. And the name was A2SV incubator, so we had to restart that process. But luckily, we're done with that this week. Now what remains is mostly going to be an online process, but to proceed, we need a bank statement saying we have this much capital in the closed account. And on that end, since the money transfer didn't happen this week, we weren't able to do it this week. So it's dependent on the money transfer. As soon as the money is transferred from the US account, we hope to do it next week, early next week. Since it's going to be an online process, we don't expect it to take too long. And the past week, we've signed income share agreement with the 100 candidates for the Bloomberg. And this follows that we've filtered and listed 100 candidates. Emre was supposed to pass it to Larissa, but I don't know the status on that. But I would assume it has been passed. And Google Kenya was also looking for level 4 candidates, and we passed two people on this one. As for the next week's plans, there are going to be a lot of proposals that are going to be out, such as NVIDIA, Sony, and those are for the corporates, and there are going to be also country-related relocation and expansion-focused proposals that are going to be coming out. And a lot of meetings are happening and will continue to happen next week on this as well. Next week, we'll also have the Cordiv live demo. Akash was supposed to come for this one, but I believe he things didn't work out and he won't be coming this week. But we still are scheduled to have the live demo next week, by the end of next week. And G6 recruitment application just closed yesterday on Wednesday, and the recruitment what remains, and the education squad is gonna take lead on this. And this is for the in-person, by the way. And tomorrow there is a UNDP Timbuktu consultation and launch event. And for those who wants to attend, the tickets are free. You can get them from Eventbrite. But for me and Zalalam, we're going to be going there because we have some connections from UNDP. We want to, remind them on such on some matters. So we'll be going. But yeah, it's more about startups, and Startup Ethiopia is also actually one of the organizers on this. So they are drafting the startup proclamation. So they wanted inputs from people who are interested and people who wants to, input, who wants to give their inputs. Yeah, and with the new TPS onboarding, we hope to see Scalate placements boosted up starting from next week and in the coming weeks as well. There are probably more organizational updates from the US end. These are just the ones that I had. Do you guys have any questions?
Really, what is the Timbuktu thing about?
Like I said, it's about startups and they're drafting the startup proclamation, and they wanted to gather all the stakeholders so that they get the input before they make the draft finalized. That's going to be a good networking event as well. A lot of startups are expected to attend.
Awesome.
Right.
We don't have any questions. Up next, let's have education updates from Simon. Simon?
Dagam. Hi, can you
Yes.
hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Maybe I can add some organizational updates. Could you please go back?
Nice. Okay.
Thank you. So team, like lots of external meetings and events to attend. Just a quick summary. Like in the last 2 weeks, I was in the US, and the time difference is 11 hours. So I am jet lagged. It's 5:10 a.m. in the morning, but it's nice to be with the team after a while. So I think Biruk has already provided those updates. I'll give a very quick summary on high prospect threats. So Bloomberg, they've received our proposal, and we talked about the timeline as well. And they are going to come back to us with something latest by the end of the year. So this is a good timeline for us from Bloomberg because it's been waiting for so long, as you know. And regarding Google, I had email exchanges with Jeffy. Unfortunately, he's in Nepal. We couldn't meet in person, but he channeled the conversation to Yossi and Avinatan, and like we have been waiting their step starting Monday. So in that regard, Google and Bloomberg, now we did what we were supposed to do, and we are waiting. And in terms of other connections, so tonight I'm going to attend Hamdi Ulukaya Initiative event. So this guy is Turkish and he owns a yogurt company in the US, which is worth multi-billion dollars. So this is another high prospect event where I can potentially meet some potential funders. So we'll continue making these reach outs. There are a few more people I'm going to see before ending the trip on November 27th. So next Wednesday, I'm going to be on my way back to Turkey. So there are three meetings scheduled in Turkey, one with the government, one with an investment firm, and another one is a reward ceremony. So on December 1st, I will be back to Addis Ababa. And team, at the moment, like many conversations are waiting at the latest stage. So it really looks like it's just a matter of time to hear some good news. And lastly, last but not least, we also had a great communication and conversations with UNDP. So UNDP stands for United Nations Development Program. They exist in 170 countries. And Timbuktu is the program through which they try to make makers hubs and AI hubs around Africa. So one is actually opening in Ethiopia. I think their focus is going to be manufacturing in the one that is in Ethiopia. So they try to build Pan-African technologies. So with the difference of $1 billion budget. So they have lots of money. And I had great conversations with high-level people, and they are very open for. Indeed, they suggest, hey, how we can partner. We would love partnerships. Are you guys open? So in that regard, I would say at the moment, Google, Bloomberg, and UNDP, these are our top priorities. And the conversations are moving well. With Bloomberg and Google, obviously, we are at later stages. So with UNDP, it can take longer time than the end of the year. We'll see. And lastly, so we got some good news. Manifest Automation, Escalate, decided to make a donation at the beginning of December. So they are about to close a deal. They said that by December 10, they expect the deal to go through. And this is a 5-digit donation, which is going to give us a bit of lifetime. At this moment, guys, every penny counts. So please feel free to reach out to people that you know who have any economic power to contribute to A2SV, including our alumni. Like I feel ashamed to say that, but we got $100 total donation from all our alumni. Like it's very hard to explain this behavior for people who have benefited from this program personally, not caring about this. With the least words, it is shameful, but this is what it is. So if you happen to know some people who already get job offers, feel free to reach out, explain. A2SV is public benefit organization, guys. There are no A2SV stocks. And I've given it all. So right now, our resources are critically low. I'm sure pretty much all the place A2SVians have more economic resources than I do at the moment. So if we don't get benefit from the economic power we are generating in our, let's say, worst economic day, then why are we doing this? So in that regard, for us, this is the time to stay strong, continue executing, because it's literally just a matter of time to get some confirmations. It's not like the conversations are, this is very difficult. No, no, they are like, oh, wow, this is great. We want to continue. We are excited to continue contributing. So it's just a matter of time to align things. But now we need support team. We need support more than ever. So please feel free to use your connections. Anything counts at the moment until we get substantial amount of cash injection. And like I know that there has been some delays in paying early next week. The ones that are approved, we will be able to pay them, like at least a big portion of it early next week. I'm sorry for the delay, but again, team, like it is, our resources are critically low at the moment. That's why we need to take mindful decisions. So currently, except our grant folks, only our heads of fundraising are paid. So only their payroll is turning, and like everybody else who is giving their brain cycles to A2SV is making sacrifice. I need some resources, and I'm giving it all, guys. So let's remember this, and let's continue pushing and delivering our responsibilities, and hopefully soon after we'll be celebrating all together. Thank you.
All
So,
right,
team, there
thank
is
you,
another
Emre.
meeting
If
I have to attend now. I'll jump out, but if there are any questions, it would be my pleasure to answer.
looking at any raised hands, Emre, but in answer everything.
Perfect. Thank you, team. See you. Take care.
Sam.
Okay. Uh, for this week, since we conclude our G5, that much update, but we have a copy. First one is we have started filtering G6 candidates, collaborating with the community squad. The second one is we've been conducting the internal interviews. We're actually concluding it. We've covered like more than 80% of the students. And for the plans, so the first one is hopefully by next week, Wednesday, we'll finish filtering the G6 students and also grading the resumes and CVs. After that, we'll start the interview on Thursday.
Sam.
And also we'll probably what? Okay. We'll you're going to uh, we'll conduct internal interviews. That's me.
Thank you, Sam. We have Mati joining us
Yes.
for education. Mati.
All right. Thank you, Dagi. For the Ghana education updates, this week we are so after the students finished their WhatsApp bots learning track, they were given a project to build. They were building a ride-hailing WhatsApp bots, and since Wednesday, the students who finished early started presenting to the group, and it has been continuing till yesterday, and we also have some projects to be presented today. So we'll finalize that this week, and then we're supposed to start Terra development on Thursday, but because the WhatsApp bot took some time, we have moved it to next week. And internet stipends have been distributed, and because of the shortage of funds, we had to distribute it in groups of 3. So the students created a group of 3, and it was distributed like that. So next week, our main focus is continuing Terra development. We have some UI UX improvements to do. We have some cleanup and then some new features to add to it. So mostly after this, it will be the main focus will be on target wins and plans.
Great. Thank you, Mati. Remote education updates given to us by Right.
Okay. So for remote education, we have been conducting internal interviews, and we did not reach out to the G6 applicants. Instead, we are summarizing like what interviews have been done so far and what other interviews are going to be done, and we're also grading the submissions that were given last time. So that's what we've been doing on G6, and we onboarded the HITs and some students to escalate. And for our plans, we're going to continue onboarding HITs and students to escalate, and we're going to continue the internal interview. Yeah.
Thank you, Meg. Okay. So for community education, we haven't had any updates. Our IT outsourcing videos have been published. The Escalate onboarding video shoots for our Escalate platform is something that we're working on. We already prepared the guideline, and on the coming week we will be we'll start shooting the videos to onboard all of the Escalate members on the platform. We have finalized our core drive posts like on Adult and Rated. Also, the two-page A2SV design for fundraising purposes have been finalized, and finally, the 1 minute impact video that we need for promotional purposes. It's something that we managed to finalize. Next week, Giving Tuesday post will come. This is something that one of our fundraising team members, Jessica, raised that we should do, which we are actively working on through our team members. As for social media posts, there are some which are being cooked on our calendar, which will be shipping next week. So for product updates, let's have the.
Okay, so our set a user stories, and I mean, like we're working on that, and we're continue working on product launch document as well, and we have interviewed beta users, and we'll continue working on. We have worked on go-to-market strategy, and our next week plans are continue working on social medias for few products and updating user stories, finalize the financial projection, and continue A2SV license. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. So for Bazaar, if we don't have any representatives, I'll go over it. I believe they wrote the tests for backend endpoints, implemented some video and upload features, which has been done since I'm not looking at the Zoom here. Refactors the web code and for their plans, continue writing tests and then implementing user profile for the drive image upload, and continue working on optimizing list of products for the chatbots. And as for Escalate, I guess we have someone joining us remotely. Do we have now? All right, in that case, we will have to come back. So the Escalate update for Dime. Vanessa, please come and give us quick updates.
Okay. So for Dime, we found a contact for Dashen Bank at the expo, and yesterday we had a good conversation. We talked about how the business is going to work. They agree with most of our propositions. So we're going to be integrating with Dashen Bank. They also offered to integrate Dime with their super app they're going to be launching. So next week we're going to be having a discussion with their technical team to discuss further on the integration of Dime with their system. And other ones are development related. So